So then how do we market to buyers? So if we're marketing to sellers through networking, through email marketing, social media, direct mail, cold calling, all of that. So that's how we try to find listings. So then how do we market to buyers? Once we have that listing, how do we get it sold? Anybody?
Can I tell you what we're doing?
Of course.
So we're on a system that we actually we're the exclusive EXP commercial on this system. Doesn't cost you anything if you want to join us. But we have a system that basically does valuations. It's a third-party valuation, by the way. We do the normalizations on our end. We put them in this online system. It packages it, comes up with a CIM, and we run it by the seller for a green light to go live with it. And then we punch go live, and it has the executive summary, and it has the CIM, and it has all of the if you want to send the CIM, you can send it to them and whatever attachments if you want to, due diligence and so forth. But it's got all of that taken care of behind the scenes. So it's what we're doing. Our big thing is making sure we have the right businesses to sell, right, Tanya? And then making sure that the numbers are correct. And but the system that we're using, and we're going to go live with a couple this week, maybe, and it's going to go out to, we have 5,000 in the buyers group in this system already. They're already buyers and they're listed as buyers. So it goes automatically up to those 5,000 buyers, which is different than BizBuySell. Then it also goes out to BizBuySell, of course, is where almost all of the businesses go. And then we wait for everyone to, all the buyers to line up and buy, I guess.
And so what is that system, Dick? What is the name of that system?
The name of the system is Deal Builder.
Deal Builder?
Yeah, Deal Builders. It's in Canada, it's in Victoria. And we made a deal with them to be their exclusive for EXP. And what we're offering, we just decided to do this actually. It's no charge for anyone that wants to do it. Coming on board with us, but we're going to get a little bit. We're going to get some little percentage, but we're going to help, put their deals out there. So if someone wants to do that, but it's just what we're trying to do is build a partnership here within the EXP to become a bigger group of people that are legitimate. All have to be IBBA trained, however, to be in the group.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. And so anybody else
interested, I'll tell them about it. If anyone's interested, I can talk to them offline.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So anybody else want to talk about how they market businesses after they have it listed?
Yep. I usually use BizBuySell. My name is Penny. I'm here in New Jersey. BizBuySell, because I've noticed the smaller businesses are going to be local folks. And it's a more local targeted, unless you're dealing with a larger business, then you can go out. I've also found Axial for the bigger stuff to bring in some deals, bring in some buyers. But BizBuySell, I think just being local, most buyers on the small business deals are going to be within a certain range of the business.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different sites like that. BizBuySell is probably the 800-pound gorilla. There is a site called BizBen, BizBen.com, started off as California only. And a gentleman named Peter Siegel owns it, or owned it. He sold it. But he still consults with them. It's before selling it, he opened it up to go nationwide. So BizBen, BizBuySell, businessbroker.net. I believe they're still around. Yep. There's something called Global BX. which is free, doesn't generate a lot, but
No.
I've gotten leads periodically from there. There's used to be called Merger Network and renamed to Deal something. I have all these things bookmarked, so I don't, but anyhow, so there are sites, there's online sites. Now, what else? Well, if you've sold a liquor store before, then you have a whole bunch of buyers that you had that inquired about it, and there was only one liquor store, so you could only sell it to one person. So any type of business, whether it's, manufacturing, professional service, liquor stores, dry cleaners, restaurants, if you've sold one, you probably have a list of buyers that inquired about it. So now when you get another one, you can send an email blast with, your blind. So you should have a blind profile about the business that can be, as comprehensive or as general as you want it to be, as long as it doesn't have any identifying information. But most of the time, your profile is only going to be on one page, and it's just going to kind of highlight the basic numbers and little description about the business, and and then couple of bullet points of what makes it attractive. So you send that out to everybody that you have in your database or your CRM that had inquired previously about that type of business. And now you can hopefully find somebody who is looking for a business, and maybe this one will be attractive to them. If you're dealing with larger businesses or with lower middle market, then you're typically compiling a target list of synergistic companies, companies that want to, you're looking for companies that want to expand through acquisition, but you're compiling a list with the seller, working closely with them because they know more about their business than you ever will. And you're working with them to put together a target list of people that might be interested in buying their business. And that may be competitors of theirs. It could be companies that are in the same industry but have a different product line. So that company may be interested in expanding their offerings. They maybe have the same types of customers. So the company, the target, may have distribution channels already, right, that are synergistic. And so they have the ability to cross-sell. So when you're dealing with a little bit larger companies, you're not probably putting them in BizBuySell at all. You might use Axial, like Penny said, axial.net. And Axial, you're going to find a lot of search funds, private equity groups. But Axial works a little differently in that you have a free account. As a business broker, you can get a free account on Axial, and you're going to put your information in, and they have a matching algorithm in the background, and they're going to go through all their buyers and come up with a list of who they think, based on what the information that you've provided, who they think might be interested in that company. And then you'll attach your profile to it, attach an NDA to it, attach a SIM to it, to your whole thing. And they go step by step. So Axial can be very useful. But again, if the business isn't generating at least 250,000 in discretionary earnings or in EBITDA, you're not going to put it in Axial. It's too small. And in Axial, 250, it might work. That's going to be of interest to maybe a private equity group that already has a platform company in that industry that's looking for an add-on or a bolt-on. So in terms of marketing to buyers, there's a lot of money out there looking for good businesses. So if you can screen and qualify your business as well, then the buyers will come, right? The buyers will come because they're looking for good businesses. And they're going to pass if the financials are wonky or non-existent. A lot of the buyers are not going to go for that. Main Street's a little different. You've got people that'll come in that'll buy restaurants that have next to no books and records, things like that. But as you get depending on the type of business, ultimately buyers want to see that they're making a good investment, and they want to see provable financials or provable tax returns that make sense. So, so that's kind of on the marketing side. Anybody have anything else they want to discuss on marketing or say about that?
No, I had a question on a specific business.
Yeah.
So 10 employees, manufacturing, making no money, been in business 40 years, but it really throws off very little cash. It's in a niche market. It does have real estate, which is valuable, that they may sell, but I'm having trouble trying to figure out how to market it, sell it, what the best way would be. But I think bolt-on is a good word for a niche market in the same industry, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
How do you reach out to these people, Tanya, normally? So without, I mean, you give the store away, right? Because it's such a small industry, this particular niche market. How do you talk to people out there? I suppose with NDAs or what?
Yeah, I mean, usually what I'll do is, again, put together your profile, and your profile is going to be blind profile. And then I typically pull together a target list and put it into my CRM, and then start sending, I'll compose an email that just says available for acquisition, and whatever, I give it a project name. So available for acquisition, and whatever the general description of the business is, again, not identifying, and then attach the blind profile to it, and send that out to people and just say, hey, here's the top line revenue and the SDE on the business. And if you're interested in expanding through acquisition, take a look at the profile that's attached. And if you want more information, please reply back with a request for an NDA, and I'll send you an NDA. The SIM will be available after the NDA has been signed. So,
I mean, the SDE is going to be low.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that that's going to be real low, but it's got value. I know it does, because it's got a customer list that's really pretty good, and they've been in business and survived. And he's going to have some SDE a little bit, because I know he flies an airplane around and does whatever. So he's got a lot of that, but reaching out to his competitors, I think, is going to be tricky, because they'll be able to figure it out immediately.
Well, then don't reach out to the competitors. Find who are people that use his services, or something that would be synergistic. What type of business would have the same customer base that he has, that would be able to maybe pick up his company and would benefit from his customer list, because they already sell to similar types of customers, but now they could cross market their own products with his products, or their services with his services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a question? I don't know for sure. I mean, it's a high-end manufacturing for construction related product, and it's a smallest company within a niche.
Yeah.
And they do retro, 100-year-old historical retro repairs on various things. And so there's not very many people that do that. He services the United States, and he would be a good, what would I say? If I had a big company, I'd love to have him just be part of the company. Have that division over there, I guess, is what
exactly. So make a target list of the larger companies where it would make a good division.
Yeah.
And then reach out and find out, who their business development people are, and you can talk to them.
Yeah, I just wonder what kind of experience you have. The small business guy's concerned, right? He didn't want his secretary to know.
Exactly.
But the big guy, you know, it's no big deal. They buy and sell stuff every day. And they're not going to buy this place. They're not just going to walk in the door and buy it. Because it's going to be listed by me, right? And I don't think it would be something that someone would do anyway, unless they know what they're after. Anyway, I'm just rambling there. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what you said.
No, I mean, there are some businesses that are just really tough, right? They're tough to sell. They're good businesses and they have value, but the market, right? They don't have a broad market, and they have a more narrow specific market because they have certain value, but to a small segment of people or a small segment of other companies. And so it's just a matter of, you know, you're going to be dealing with a target list. Okay, you're going to have to put together and work with the seller to come up with that target list, because they're going to know, and also do some research. But the seller's input on that, like, you may want to do some research, come up with a target list, and then take that back to the seller and say, these are the companies that I think this would make a good acquisition for these reasons, but what are your thoughts on it? And he may look at the target list and say, oh no, that one would never work. And it's like, okay, well, it wouldn't work. Why? Right. So, you know, find out from the seller what his thoughts are. And he may look at another company and say, oh no, I would never want to do business with them. I did business with them in the past and they burned me. They, you know, burned me on a contract or whatever, and just take them off the list. Don't communicate with them.
That's good input.
Okay,
Thanks.
Yeah.